Hi, welcome to our online tabletop roleplay called Don't Split the Party. I'm Paige. I'm your dungeon mom. And I'm joined as always by most of my friends and family. First up, we've got Kayleen, who plays Dolly.
Bold choice picking me first as I take off my wig.
To her right, we have Colin, who plays Luke.
I don't have a wig.
All natural, baby.
You're Merkin, though.
We have Victoria, who plays the lovely and seductress Aquaria.
Hi.
Hi.
Is that seductive?
It's my version of it.
You'll hear me sniffling all night.
We have Kelly, who plays Misha.
Yo.
As always, the most enthusiastic. And Sarah, who plays Poppy.
Guys, I have really, really, really big news.
Oh.
I found out my ear piercings didn't fill in. Ah!
Very nice.
We are not joined by Wesley Benign Chronicler. He is traveling. He split the party. So we're going to see how tonight goes.
I will call out that it was him who came up with Don't Split the Party, so
putting it to the test.
Emotionally do that.
Irony.
Dramatic irony.
So, last session, we finally ventured further into the city of Waterdeep, venturing together on assignment from the Yawning Portal. The very famous author, Volo, had requested that you look into the whereabouts of a good friend, Floon Blagmar, who had been gone and expectedly missing for the last 3 days. He told you a story about him and his friend Floon going to a, we'll say, seedier bar in the dock ward called the Skewered Dragon. They had a few drinks. Volo left pretty early in the night, and he hasn't seen his friend Floon since, and now he has grown worried. He offered you all 10 gold each, just for accepting his request, and you've began to venture out deeper into the city to see if you can track him down, with the promise of 10 times that for each of you. I think there were some qualifiers added on that he brought back alive, but...
they suggested that we perhaps bring him back in one piece, or maybe one piece and one very small piece, but not multiple pieces.
Somewhere in a contract, I'm sure that's specified. Verbal
There's
contract.
a verbal binding contract, and we will uphold it because it's the laws that exist.
Mm-hmm. On your way towards the dock ward, you ran across the city guard, who had seemed to have just broken up a rather fatal fight between two rival gangs. And you finally arrived in the dock ward in the late evening, around 7 or 8 o'clock at night. It's just gotten dark. I described the dock ward as...
Scuzzy.
tall. Yeah, that's a good way to summarize it. Let's see. When you arrive at the Skewer Dragon, outside of it, you can see it looks like a ruin, as I described last week. Both its front-facing windows are smashed. A ship's anchor is lodged into the roof. Through the windows, you can see a group of haggard patrons drinking from huge tankards. Now, you agreed to walk in, and right before I had some technical difficulties, I do remember Poppy asking if she spotted certain kinds of patrons in the bar. Do I have that correct?
Yeah, I was looking for, bearded dwarf types.
Okay, roll a perception check for me, Poppy.
Gonna be a nat 6 + 1, 7.
Thankfully, it's not too hard to spot the stature. I would say most of the guys look scruffy and bearded, but you do see somebody off to the corner who seems to be playing a game on a kind of worn down wooden table, and he seems to be dwarven.
I'll walk up to his table, and in dwarvish, I'll say, sorry to interrupt. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions over a drink.
Roll a persuasion check for me.
+5. Again, in that 6 plus 5, 11.
The broad-shouldered dwarf, he's got a smooth, oiled black beard. You can see as he looks up, his hand kind of drops one of the ebony wooden pieces on the table. He seems to be playing a game. And you can see on that hand he has several silver rings on his fingers. And he looks up to you. He kind of replies in Dwarvish, "I'm playing a game. Wait your turn." And he kind of returns back to, it seems to be another haggard-looking human who's playing this game of, similar to like chess on the table.
Can I approach also?
Okay.
And in Dwarvish, introduce myself and ask what's going on.
How do you introduce yourself, Dolly?
Hello, these are my friends. Do not mind them, but this is my other friend. But we are here and we are just looking for a good time, you know? And so, hi, I'm Dolly. Can we maybe partake in this game, please?
I need you to roll a persuasion check as well, with disadvantage, only because you're doing it right after somebody else who just came in.
That's fine. I only just realized that I also spoke Dwarvish and I really wanted to get in on this.
The whole time Poppy's looking at you like, what the fuck? What the fuck, bro?
No, with disadvantage. Oh, but I still get my positives. I don't subtract them. I was about to subtract okay, so 15.
Okay. You'll see the dwarf will respond in common. He'll say, in common he'll say, and I'm not good at any kind of dwarvish thing. Jesus, all I can hear is you whispering, Katie.
I just said I'm a goddamn polyglot. I know 4 fucking languages.
Hey, look at us.
That's awesome.
If we all speak the same language, I'm gonna be mad. That's such a diverse
I
group.
speak Dwarvish.
What if everyone in the party speaks Dwarvish? No one consulted about it.
He'll say, after I'm finished beating this fool, you can play me in a game of Sava if you like.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Drinks on us next time. And I'll walk away and look for a server.
You can see the bartender and most of the patrons who sit at the bar have literally stopped what they're doing and turned and are staring at you all as you've entered.
I'll go over to the barkeep then.
Okay.
All right, me and my friends would like a round of drinks. How much is your average cup of ale?
2 silver.
What?
2 silver.
All right, I'll get some for everybody. So what's that? Been around, okay, we've got...
He's already poured like 2 or 3 drinks for you. He hands him. He's still pouring the other 2 or whatever you're ordering. He says, 2 silver.
Oh, perfect. And I'll pull out 2 silver. Hand it to him.
Yeah, you can see from the giant mugs he's poured that Volo is not kidding when he says, like, why. You can kind of quickly understand why Volo would drag a princely-looking guy to this bar. The beer, the ales poured are huge. For a pretty good price. Considering.
Removing 2 silver. So, I hate to be a bother, but have you noticed anybody, besides us, of course, any rich folk around here past couple days?
Kind of just looks at you. He doesn't seem willing to talk. The barkeep.
I'll slide over 2 more silver.
He doesn't pocket it yet. He keeps it on the counter, but he puts his hands in front of it. You can see he kind of dances his finger on the bar, waiting more expectantly.
I'll hand him 2 more silver.
It seems like you're going to be waiting a while, based off of this reaction as you hand him 2 more silver.
I'll hand him a gold.
He's still not budging.
That's all I've got. I ain't one of these rich folk. I'm new in town. I just need some information.
He leaves your coin on the counter and returns to another patron who's kind of gruffed at him. He doesn't take the bribe.
It's a tip. All right. I'll take my money back. Someone else can have Adam. I'm done with him.
It's not much of the gossiping sort, it seems.
I'm gonna go sit at the table and drink my beer, man.
I'll join her.
Can I see any like people who look like they've like drove in a herd of cattle recently?
Fucking city.
I will say definitely
You
not.
meet them somewhere.
Definitely not any cattle herders. They either seem to be rugged senior workers from the dock, maybe a few who have some nautical experience. I wouldn't say they consider themselves sailors by any means, but they definitely seem to be locals of the ward. And some of them don't look too welcoming, if that wasn't obvious yet. Some definitely look like they'd rather throw a fist than throw a welcome.
Is there a group that looks particularly inviting?
I would say naturally the room that was red, going up to that one dwarf at the beginning seems to be the best bet. Obviously, he's engaging to some form of social interaction. Although now, as you've kind of sat and you've kind of looked at the patrons in the bar, you can notice that the dwarf seems to be very drunk as he's playing his game. And right around that time, actually, as Dolly and Poppy sit down to grab their ale, it looks like he has, as he predicted, just won a game of that similar-looking chessboard. And he seems to be collecting gold from the side of the table that was put down to bargain.
I'll go back over to him so I can play our game together.
I will begrudgingly join, but not be happy with this fucking bar.
Aw.
Not a fan.
You can see he kind of sticks his chin out to you, Dolly, as you sit down at the seat across from him. And he'll plant 2 fists on the table in front of you.
I think you think I'm an easy mark. That is not the case.
He looks you up and down. Have you ever played Sava?
Absolutely, I am very experienced.
Good, I don't have to teach you.
Perfect.
All right.
This is the way things ought to go, yes.
It's a 10 dragon pot.
But 5, because I am new to this bar and I cannot trust you necessarily.
Do you think I'm cheating?
No, but I think maybe that the odds are maybe stacked against me.
Seems like you have a lot of friends. They can't chip in.
They are not. It is not necessary to lean on your friends in a situation like this. We can just lower the stakes. You have absolutely everything to gain, which is to say, you have 5 dragons to gain.
There are 3 other guys waiting to play a game with me who will be willing to bet 10 gold, 10 dragon.
Right, that's fair. But will they have as stunning conversation skills, or perhaps as beautiful a face as I have to offer? Unless, of course, that is your persuasion, in which case, absolutely pick them over me.
I think you have a lot more to gain by playing than by trying to bargain me down.
7 dragons.
No.
9, please. Come on, give me a little bit of leeway.
How about 7 and the kids? I point
No.
Right, like I suggested. All right, so a 9. That is like practically what you offered.
The pot's the pot, lady.
I'll put in the 1 gold. Here you go.
Includes, oh my god.
I'm putting in the 1 different.
Right. You're a very good friend. This is my friend.
You'll see it takes...
I'll put in 2.
Okay, no, okay. Well, that's good. You're okay.
There's a glisten in her eyes when you called her a friend.
You'll see the man will the dwarf will take some of his previous winnings, 10 gold as well, 10 dragons, and put it to the pot on the side of the table.
I'll also put 8 gold and let Poppy put in the other 2.
I put in too.
Okay. So, do you know how to play Sava, Kayleen?
Paige, I'm gonna let you be the judge on that one. Just go ahead and guess.
Okay.
No, don't guess in the affirmative. I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
We're gonna just ask all of our questions really quick.
Okay, Kayleen. The game of Sava is going to consist of a couple rolls that are going to be certain checks. He's going to also roll the same checks. Oh. You're going to combine those 3 rolls to a total to determine who's going to win. So we're both going to be rolling 2 things. That's the general gist of the game. So as you ready up, make an intelligence, just to understand if you can pull off this deception that you've played the game before, make a general intelligence check for me. This isn't part of the game. This is just to see how well you can pull it off. Let's see if you can remember.
I got a 5.
Okay.
You know,
all right. I'm going to say your first check for the game of Sava, you're going to be making an intelligence check, but considering that last roll it with disadvantage for me.
Good.
So what is actually happening on the table? What do I see happening?
Sava is like a version, it's like a drow invention of chess. So really what it is essentially is it's 2 players using ebony pieces that resemble drow warriors, mages, priestesses, and the goal of the game is to destroy the other player's noble house. So it requires skill, deception, insight, which is how we break up the 3 checks. It takes about 30 minutes to play, and obviously in this case, they're including the gambling side of it too, where the 2 players are putting in money to win a pot. That's essentially what's happening.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Okay.
I will say I would have gotten. Wait, don't tell you what I got.
No, that's okay. You can. Okay. You're all right.
Because if we didn't have a disadvantage, I would have had a 23.
All right. Well, just write it down because you're going to be combining all 3 of your checks together for your grand total. Okay. So you can still have a bad roll and still win the game.
Super promising. Yeah, but the 4 is not promising.
Right before you roll your next check, the initial chess game, the first couple of rounds, go surprisingly pretty much the same, actually. A few stumbles on both persons' part. You're able, he has to make the first move, so you, even though it's not very elegant, he's also very drunk, so you quickly pick up the premise of the game. So you get lucky, you both kind of knock down a few pawns. Some of the warriors go down. You have a couple warriors left, most of your mages, and your priestesses. He looks at the table at you, and he kind of swigs a big chug of his ale. He says, so, if you want to know what happened at Skinny Boy and that little pompous buddy of his, you'll probably have to beat me at this game.
There's nothing else I could do to convince you. Otherwise...
Can't say you can. No, we're really good at this game, and you just gotta be me fair and square. So.
Be me.
Fair and square, absolutely, of course.
All right, with that, I need you to roll a deception check for me.
If he ever makes a good move, Paige, I'm gonna be like the girl at the gambling table, like ooh, and try to make him seem like I'm on his side.
Okay. You want to seem like you're on his side?
No, like I'm rooting for him. I'm trying to fuck him up.
That's a choice. Okay. Let me roll mine as well.
Trying to gain his trust.
Okay. Just for general storytelling, Kayleen, how'd you do on that roll?
A nat 20 So
Oh!
if it's a nat 20, do I get to add my modifier to it or no? For
Yeah.
in this case. Okay, then
So
yeah, that's a 22.
add your deception. Yeah.
20.
So if it's
Making up.
there you go.
Making
Okay.
up for lost time, baby.
You're catching up pretty good. All right, so with your deception check, you do a couple surprise moves on this section of the round. He seems really confident about this point. He's finished a drink. Sarah, with your deception, you've kind of quickly handed him a spare mug of ale that hasn't been drank yet. And he drinks it rather confidently, and you can see he makes a few mess ups, and one of his first priestesses go down, which is a huge red flag in the game. It looks like he starts to get a little nervous, and occasionally you see him eyeing the pot as you guys keep playing. All right, Dolly, for your last roll, I need you to make an insight check for me.
That is promising.
I gotta check something really quick. How'd you do?
Very well. I got the 17.
Very nice. Okay. What's your grand total then before I tell you what happens?
43.
Okay.
I trust you have done that.
Okay, so at the end of the game, Dolly, despite this being your first time playing Sava, you can see that initial foul up on the first priestess was his ultimate downfall. And after a few quick rounds, you are actually able to defeat the dwarf. You can see he kind of pretty like happily knocks over the priestess and looks at you. He now removes the two fists from the table onto his side, and he says, good game. Good game.
Good game to you also. Thank you for letting me play with you.
The pot is yours.
I appreciate that. Are you willing to maybe talk a little bit more now about these things that you may or may not have seen?
All right, Brigard, go over there. Go. And you start to see him shooing away some of the nearby patrons in the bar who've been kind of watching either directly Poppy or just in the nearby tables. And for some reason, he carries some sort of authority in this bar, because when he starts to holler at the few guys to his left and right, you can see they kind of pick up their glasses at whatever level of fullness they are and kind of scuffle over to the other side of the bar, giving you some clear earshot to discuss a little bit more privately.
So you have heard tell of our friend who we are in search of.
Are you speaking Dwarven or Common? Just out of curiosity.
I was going to speak in Common, but if he's speaking in Dwarvish, that's fine too.
Okay.
And you would understand both.
I'm just curious for passerbyers and stuff.
Oh, we're actually switching to Druidic, so
Oh shit, I'm out.
no, I'll speak in Dwarvish.
Okay.
We are looking for a friend of a friend, and their last whereabouts are here. So perhaps you could enlighten us to the things that you may know about them.
If you're talking about that skinny guy, yeah, I saw him here a couple nights ago.
Right. So what happened?
So, yeah, him and the rounder guy with the funny hat come in every so often.
Yeah, he's a guard.
Yeah, and they were there a couple nights ago, I remember, and the fat one left, and then the skinny one was sitting with, what's his name? The kid, the Lord's kid. Do you know what I'm talking about? The one. It's not Lariel. What's the other guy's name? Never Ember. The Never Ender kid. He was sitting. Never Ember kid. Yeah, he was sitting with that guy, and they were drinking. And they left, and maybe a couple extra guys followed him out.
How many couple extra guys, and what direction did they go in? And did you overhear them talking, and what did they say?
He kind of looks over to the side of each table and he's like, I didn't hear what they said, but there was about 5 or 6 of them, I'd say. They had that snake tattoo on them, all of them, all 5 or 6 of them.
This is our gang.
Yeah, they're the, the snake with the wings on it.
A bad gang. I do not. It's on 6 of 1. We'll find them. Snake with wings. With wings.
Well, these guys, they come here a lot too, right? And they're usually frequent that warehouse on Candle Lane, a couple of streets down.
All right.
You know who they? All right, you know who they work for? These tattooed snake-winged guys.
He kind of looks at you. Yeah, I know who they work for.
Would this missing guy have anything against this guy? Or girl, so to speak?
He kind of like wiggles his like short, kind of stubby finger, bringing you in.
I lean in.
He doesn't. It looks like he's about to say something, like the words, and instead he kind of looks around and he kind of circles the bar, and then he brings that finger to his lips.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I think they work here.
Right, but I cannot infer what this means.
Is it?
Do not speak this.
Are you the boss?
No, I'm not the boss.
Is the boss here?
No, it's just owned by people who know the boss.
Can you give us like a hint, perhaps, in like I don't know, a code? Snake with wings. Snake with wings.
Roll a just a intelligence check for me.
Just Ollie?
I told you guys about this.
I'm not that intelligent.
So not me?
I got 17.
You can roll it too, Sarah.
Yes,
Is
Sarah. Get on this roll train.
20. +1, 21.
Okay, so as was mentioned in the yawning portal, there's some tension between 2 gangs. One gang you saw fight Yagra Stonefist in the yawning portal.
Yeah.
And they had
Centaurians.
okay, and then the
Zentirum?
other Zentirum. That's the snake with the wings tattoo, Zentirum.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Oh,
I
so
didn't
that's
think
Yagra's gang. She's a Zentirum.
She's not a Zentirum, she's paid to protect
By
a Zentirum.
them.
Okay.
She's like
And those are the
a
snake
cell
eye
sword.
guys.
Zentirum are the snakes with wings tattoos.
Who have the one eyes?
That's what you've heard as the Xanathar's Guild.
Xanathar
Yeah, third skills is okay.
Guild
Mm-hmm.
is one with the solo Y.
Confusingly, Xanathar starts with an X, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I just did the same thing. I like scribbled it out 4 or 5 times.
Okay, cool. Okay.
So with your intelligence check, you can see that he seems to suggest that the skewered dragon is Zentirum owned, and that it's potentially occupied by several Zentirum currently. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean Zentirum aren't just like bad. They're not just bad, period.
Right.
You know, there's shades of correct. There's shades of gray. Yes.
All right. Not
2019. Continue.
I get your drift. We're not really trying to pry. There's a missing man, and we just want to give the man some answers, his loved ones and such. Would you know would you know if he's,
No, I don't. like I said, him and the the prince guy, they left together. They kind of looked like, a pack from the same brew. They looked like they were getting on. They looked kind of similar, honestly. And I saw them head out, and I saw 5 guys who happened to walk out around the same time.
5?
5 to 6.
Yeah,
That's
5
a
or
lot.
6.
That's a lot of guys.
The
Right.
ones with the tattoos.
Oh, God.
Rough looking.
But it
like-
is a good thing we roll deep now. Right, Peppy? Our friend? We are a
Yes.
group. We're very tough.
Mm.
I do not know what they're up against.
Right, but we're not trying to pick any fights with any, bosses or such. We're looking for a missing man is all.
Very candidly, sir, we are not trying to pick fights, but we are not unwilling to get into fights. Look at me, I'm very tough. What are they
Yes.
going to do?
She's very tough. All right, well, we don't want to keep you. Thank you for your time and your coin.
You
And
want
thank
to
you
play a
for-
game of Savo with me?
Do I?
Peppy, do you want to do it?
Okay, I'll play.
Oh, Peppy, do it.
All right. 10 gold pot.
All
I'll give 5 to Poppy for this one.
All right. Oh! Okay, I put in 5. She put in 5.
Okay, and he'll put in 10 as well. I'll need you to make an intelligence check first.
Don't roll that. Intelligence. First
How
one's
was
a
it?
straight 10.
Okay. First round, just a general setup, the basic maneuvers. He seems to have a strong start compared to you.
No. Damn.
Pretty good, a very good start actually. But it's too early to tell. I'll need you next to roll a deception check for me.
25.
Okay, nice.
That
The
is
second,
not 20 to be clear.
okay, in the second round, you can see you definitely get him beat on the second bit. With that in mind, you're close to neck and neck. So, I need you to roll an insight check finally.
Oh, good. I'm proficient at this too. 16.
Okay, add that up for me.
Yeah, I've got it now. 26, 25. 51 is my score.
A little less boisterous and confident this time. You can see he drops one of his priestesses, and at this point, he doesn't like losing twice in a row. But you've won the game.
Gambling queens over here.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I will say, it probably doesn't help the dwarf that he is very drunk and been rolling at disadvantage because of how drunk he is.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
You have
Hey, Paige. Hey,
Yeah.
Paige. Hey, credit where credit is due. We
absolutely,
did fucking kick his ass.
absolutely.
Money. Okay.
I can't dab hard because my hat will fall off.
All right. Well,
Okay.
and your name? We never got your name.
It's Salamil Silverfingers.
Salamil. Silver fingers. That's because of the rings now.
Yes,
Are you from here?
yes.
Are you from Waterdeep? Not from
Well,
outside of the city, anyway.
Born and raised on the Dockwood.
Good of you to stick with it, All right, well, very good, Dolly.
We appreciate your time. Thank you. And
Yes.
your gold. We appreciate that extra.
That's very much, yeah. All
On
right.
the way on the way out, Luke is gonna stop a waitress and say,
There
Send
aren't any waitresses or waiters in this one. There's just the barkeep.
the barkeep. I'll stop by the barkeep
Oh, good luck.
and say, "Excuse me, could I get a beer and a shot of your finest firewater for my friend?"
He is looking for what they call a citywide. That's a Philadelphia joke.
Oh.
He,
Why
When
is
you-
it called a citywide?
It's a citywide special. You get a beer and a shot.
Oh,
Should never be more than $5.
tasty.
and Luke, when you say that, are you meaning the dwarf in the corner?
Yep.
Oh. All right. Yeah. He'll nod and he'll kind of wave you off. He won't even charge you if you're just offering to get the guy a drink.
Okay.
That was nice. All right. And you can see he kind of, as you guys are leaving the skewered dragon, one of your last views through one of the smashed windows is the anchor that kind of sits through the roof into the bar. He kind of ducks underneath of it to carry the shot of fire whiskey and a tall mug of ale towards Salomon, who helped you guys to the next, hopefully, steps of your search for this missing person.
Once we're out of eye shot of the bar, I'm gonna link arms with Poppy and like dance her in a circle. Like, hell yeah, we fucking did it! Dance.
I don't know if she's ever really danced, so
It's-
that will be
it-
probably awkward.
Just linking arms and going in a circle.
I'm just kind of with her short legs being pulled around, but she's enjoying it. She's like laughing and having a good time with it.
What help are all of you? This is my friend. We got information and gold, and you all, what did you do?
Part of working in a group, Dolly, is knowing when you're not needed.
Fair. It is probably difficult when you have someone as
Talented.
talented, luscious, perhaps endearing and funny and charismatic. All of these things that I am. Yes, it would be challenging. So I appreciate you knowing your place, Luke. You are my first friend.
Well, I'm
She put
glad I
that
heard
dwarf
that.
man. Sorry.
Oh, no reason.
She put that dwarf man in his place. Took his money, all right too.
So did you, Puppy? Hey, we have more money now, friends.
More money
When
to
we-
spend.
And then we'll solve this. We'll find the boy. And we will be rich as kings. But
Yeah.
maybe not kings. Maybe like rich as someone who has money.
As much as that Never Ember boy. Speaking of, has anyone heard of that? He talked about a Never Ember boy. Sound like some kind of royalty here. I'd never heard of him.
Yeah, Volo mentioned that he was the son of a leading noble family here.
Is
And
that
two
Flume?
look. No,
That's-
no. Flume just looks like him. And if they were staying together, my thinking is that he might have gotten caught up in something that the Never Ever boy was meant for.
Or untoward.
Yeah, something untoward.
Too bad your robot historian isn't here.
Why?
Because I'd throw him a bone.
Oh.
Being
Well-
in
One
the city
bone.
for a few weeks, would I know anything about him?
Bone, throw, bone, throw.
2 bones, 1 throw.
All right, roll a history check, Kelly.
Roll a what?
History check.
Smart.
You got this.
She is a wizard, so.
All right.
Wizard.
15.
The name Never Ember is definitely a big popular name in Waterdeep, specifically because before L'Oreal Silverhand, the last open lord was Daggold Never Ember, who actually had to leave Waterdeep kind of secrecy but in disgrace. So his name isn't well liked in the city. And his son, Rainier, you've heard a lot of people talk about him up in the northward because he's doing his best to try to maintain what little meaning there is to the name Neverember in the city. Maintaining its, the family's income and finances and trying to steer the name to where it once stood in Waterdeep.
So yeah, Nether Ember is not the best name in town. But the boy is apparently trying to, regain the reputation and make a better name for himself.
Well, it sounds to me like our flume got mixed up in something.
Yeah, something nasty, it seems. Maybe a kidnapping of some kind. Do we want to get involved with this kind of stuff?
We have no choice. There's 100 gold each on the line.
And they
And
don't,
a man's life.
and they don't want flume anyways. Generally speaking, you don't kidnap someone you don't want.
Do you have much experience in the way of kidnapping people?
No, of course not.
But I doubt they just catch and release.
Exactly. They have a reputation to uphold, these gangs.
So you must move quickly.
And stealthily. Let's not just go guns a-blazing.
Right. We don't want to start bad off with these gangs.
What are that?
What are guns?
What are guns? I do declare.
Speaking of moving quickly and stealthily, as you make your way through the dock ward towards this Candle Lane that Solomon told you about, you hit the corner of two streets called Zastrow Street and Fillet Lane. And there you can see, even at this late hour, there is a particular window displaying one of the shops. It stands out from the others. It has a deep purple facade to it, and in its windows hangs a stuffed beholder. Above the door hangs a sign whose elaborate letters spell out Old Zoblob's shop.
Zablob?
Yes.
I really thought you were going to say like Blinsky's. Because he's not funny, so Blinsky. I have heard this.
A stuffed beholder?
Like,
Yeah, like a
taxidermy shop?
Yeah, taxidermy.
No, like a stuffed animal.
Oh, look at this. Look at it. It is so cute. It is so creepy and cute all together in one.
Are beholders like well known to people? Or is it something that like the obscure, like, almost like a cryptic kind of thing?
Beholders are, I guess it could be a player's choice in theory, but I think the general knowledge of a beholder is things you hear in stories of heroes, and it's just like most people, I think, who first learned about D&D hear, it's a thing with eyeballs. I think you'd see it and recognize it as a beholder.
Okay.
Do we know it's like a real thing, or is it like dragons in real life? Where it's like, oh, dragons are awesome, but they don't.
In Waterdeep, yeah, the understanding of monsters is a real thing. So yeah, you would know it's not just something out of stories. Yeah.
Well, we have extra coin. Are we looking to buy?
Oh, I do not know if I want to buy it, but it is very cute. It is large. Maybe perhaps if something petite.
Are we heading in the direction of like the Candle Lane warehouse?
Yeah. Yeah, you're heading in that direction. It's probably about another 10 minutes off.
But this is towards that way, so this is the path they would have maybe taken.
You've walked past it. Yeah, on the way there.
Well, tell you what, Dolly, when we find this guy and we rescue him, I'll buy you anything in that store you want.
Oh.
Are you talking a big talk? All right, I was going to go in anyway, but anything I want. Okay.
Well, maybe we can start the wish list. Go in early.
I went the big eyeball friend.
Oh.
Eyeball friend.
Right, but
first we save our new potential friend.
All right. We'll put it down in the books to visit later, I guess.
I'm going to write eyeball friend, and that's going to confuse me later on.
I've got it down. Don't worry.
That's one of those moments. That was one of those moments where Paige was so confident you'd go in that I had everything open for it.
I kind of wanted to, but I don't want to.
It did, but Colin gave me a good excuse not to.
Yeah.
He said, I will pay for whatever you want, and I want a big eyeball friend, so...
I don't know, maybe old Zoblob saw something.
Zablob did not. He did not set it and open his window. We are continuing onwards. Let's go.
As we walk, you young folk. Yeah, I would say if we're agreeing not to, we're gonna wait. We'll wait for it.
I feel
Sorry,
like just
ma'am.
it would make sense for the characters to not want to go
Agreed.
in right now.
Luke is our dad, and he's trying to make sure that we stay the course. Really, it's so hard to go between those two accents. Holy shit.
Paige is looking down at her book like, fuck.
We will be back. There is a big eyeball friend who I want.
I'm sure this was some sort of
Dolly,
secret.
like most tieflings who are cute and have accents, likes cute things and also candy and sweets and perhaps stuffed animals.
Kelly's just gone.
What other tieflings like anything?
Oh, you're right. Tieflings are super jaded. No, I mean, just like Jester is obviously a main influence for tieflings with accents. We all know it. I know it.
There's no denying.
I cannot escape it. Now that I have created the perfect tiefling, it will always be compared to Jester.
Did you even watch an episode of that?
I have watched 10 episodes and then I watched a bunch of stuff about it. But I'm just saying, now we are D&D post Critical Role, so I'm a tiefling with an accent. I will be compared to just.
True.
I know my lot in life. What happened to Kelly? Is she okay? Is she alive? Is she dead? Did she survive her escapades?
I don't know.
Stuffed beholder got her. I found a chibi
I like that.
beholder.
The GB Beholder is myself down a mother. Oh, he's so cute. I love you so much. Look at his little tongue.
Are we waiting for Kelly?
I do not.
Kelly!
We're just on a walk now.
She's coming.
Guys, I speak 4 languages.
Me
I am
too.
a polyglot. Oh, you speak 4 languages too? We should collaborate. We already know we should at least 2 languages in common.
I'm a cloistered scholar, so that's part of the.
I'm just a race and a class and a person.
Oh.
It's funny because like common, I have an accent in the real world that is associated to a language. And so in my brain, I'm like, I speak 5 languages. Common, the other 3 languages.
French common.
And French.
Honorary French in this world.
We had to add it, right? We should pay homage.
Kelly, I don't know if you missed it, but we passed a shop called Old Zablob's Shop with the beholder in it. And we decided to go back to it later.
Right. But his tagline is also, is no fun, is no Zablobs.
It's not his tagline.
It is his tagline. It is canon. Good luck getting rid of that. We should not have played Curse of Storm before this.
So on the way, so are we like going right to this warehouse to talk to them, or how are we doing this?
Yes.
Yes?
We're going right there.
I was thinking more of a stakeout personally.
Steak my bite.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm not going anywhere inside of a warehouse where there's going to be a gig.
We also need time to finish her gown or whatever.
Yeah, I'm probably just not going to sleep tonight and work on it afterwards.
I'm accepting something very aggressively in real life.
Huh?
He was just doing a touch.
Your microphone is rubbing up against something. It's creating a lot of feedback.
Oh, sorry.
No worries.
Oh, I thought it was a cat. I got excited. No cats.
So we're going to watch.
Yeah, it's a good way to not blunder into something.
We might see him walking about too.
That is doubtful.
That is doubtful.
But I wanted to go in and get the fight down. Let you fight.
I imagine there'll be some.
They said there were 5 or 6.
In the bar?
Right, but like there cannot be like more than 10 people. Like it's a town. They're busy. How are they going to be 10 people doing one single thing?
Let's make a compromise. Maybe we wait for 10 minutes and then you can decide to then go in.
No, I don't want to die. We can wait a half hour. Like, God, I have a farm to run when this is all done. I'm just saying, I want to get in a little bit.
Well, I think if nothing else, we should scout the exterior, see if we can't find a more subtle entrance.
All right.
Agreed. Aquaria?
I'm going to take off my chainmail.
He gets naked and shows off his six-pack.
Okay.
C'est magnifique.
So for now, my armor class is 14.
Okay.
Oh, my armor class is just 14. So challenge.
Wait,
Get
Bear
me the
skin,
type.
it's 14.
Yes,
No.
he has skin made of something very strong.
No,
I
I'm
do
just
know that.
very
Like a diamond.
agile.
Diamond skin and springy lines.
Your dex modifier is +4, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why.
I'm very
I'm
dexterous.
glad that Victoria likes diamond skin and springy loins.
Yeah, you're a cowboy. You better be
I was-
dexterous.
It's just springy.
Beep, beep, beep.
I just also didn't want to have disadvantage on any stealth checks. Because I have chainmail armor.
Oh, you mean that Wes could have done that whole campaign?
20 minutes after he's taken off his plate mail.
The one
Yeah.
time he takes it off is the one time he needs it.
Well, the thing is, I have really good dexterity, so I'm not like losing all that much.
Or that much. Alright. Okay, well, you took off your clothes, so do you want to be the one who stakes?
No, I just figured it'd be a good idea, and if we do need to sneak anywhere.
You figured it would be a good idea to take off your clothes and get naked.
I'm not naked.
You took
I'm
off your
still
shirt. We
wearing
watched you. We were all here watching.
I took off my chainmail armor,
Which was
That was
underneath a shirt.
underneath.
which I then
You do the
had
ball?
on.
Right, but for a moment, we all watched. It was not like a bra that you removed, like, sneaky through a sleeve. Like, you had to take off all of your things.
Well, I'll
You're
point
just showing
out
off.
that
You have
you
a
wear
six-pack.
padding underneath your chainmail.
No, you did not. You didn't.
I
Maybe
turned
other
around for your decency, so
She's
No, how-
nice. We rode a horse together, and you rode bitch seat, so, like, we have nothing between us now.
Right. Well, I'm gonna go check out around and see if we see any easier entrances.
Is anyone particularly sneaky? Ding dong.
sorry.
Is anyone particularly sneaky? Perhaps maybe you want to.
Fairly stealthy.
You are a very volunteer. I expected that you were going come hell or high water, but do we have another friend who perhaps is good at being maybe a hider?
I have
What does
+1
everybody have
modifier.
first? I got
Ooh,
3.
one at a time. +3. But like story wise.
In the future,
Lost you.
right now I'm not.
Okay, Luke, you get your pick. Bring someone with you though, because like for real, you should not just wander into a bee's nest.
I just want to make
Male?
it clear. What choice are you guys making as a group?
Luke is going to be stealthy and look around and sneak for entrance.
We're on the outside.
All
On the
right.
outside. He's
You
not
know
going to go in. He's not.
You know what that means, don't you?
Yeah, but
Means we have
he's
to-
trying to find a friend. We're trying to do
We're
this
not
as a
splitting
buddy.
the party. We're not splitting the party.
It means we have to play the theme song.
Isn't the party already split because Benign Chronicler isn't here?
He's technically with us. He's here. The spirit of Jesus is with us.
Is anyone in
Oh,
roll 20?
I'm in that.
Yep, it is.
Intermission.
This guy's voice is so sick.
I can't believe someone actually sang this.
All right. So again, what was your plan?
Sneak around the outside, see anything that we happen to see, like better entrances.
And who's coming
But-
with you?
Yeah, that's what we were determining.
Aquaria, how do you feel about this?
I'm super sneaky.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm blue and my hair floats.
But you're more stealthy than me.
I can make one of you move maybe a little faster for a little bit of time if you need to get away quickly.
Well, how long does that last?
About 10 minutes, I think. Haven't tried pushing it very far.
Well, let's hold on to that as an ace in the sleeve, as it were.
Well, you got to be close to me to, cast it on you.
Well, if we did get into a hypothetical fight with more gang members than we expected, that might be something that you'd want to hold on to.
You also should probably shout very loud because we're not, we can hear you. So,
Of course.
there's 3 more people.
He's right.
I'm not very tough. I have shown it off.
I can also send you a message, and I kind of tap Holly on the head. Just in here, I can send you just a wee little message.
That is so
Without
odd.
anyone knowing. She winks.
Did anybody
I can't wink.
You are nasty. Look at you. Meow. Meow. Hands.
Did anybody else hear her just then?
No, she's very scary. I'm afraid of her a little bit.
In a very seductive way?
Like a very sexually powerful woman. Yes,
Yes,
we
I'm
should
very
fear her.
frustrated all of a sudden.
What did you say?
She's very frustrated.
Oh no, puppy.
A puppy.
All right. So with that in mind, I need Aquaria and Luke to roll stealth checks for me.
21.
Chef Kissy hand.
Sorry, I have to get all my dice set up. I put them away when I went to bed.
Don't split the party.
21.
All right.
Nice.
Wait, yeah.
As the party stands on the corner of Candle Lane and the adjacent road, the two of you start to lurk forward into the darkness. You can see on Candle Lane, where Solo Mill had kind of led you, gloom seems to envelope the narrow alley, as dark as a dungeon, and as odorous as one too. Nearly all of the street lamps have been smashed. The only light that pierces the darkness is a faint flickering from down the lane, like a distant candle. As you've rounded it and started to kind of purvey the outskirts of these several warehouses, you see that the flickering comes from one of the streetlights still intact on Candle Lane, the only streetlight still intact. It seems to be kept alight by a spell that keeps it constantly lit. You can see a warehouse directly across the street from that lamp. The light illuminates a black winged snake painted above the door's handle. Very faint. As you walk around it, you've now identified the warehouse, and you can quickly see that this warehouse is a ramshackled 2-story warehouse. And as you quickly make one perimeter round, what seems to be rather stealthily, there's no one else on the street, or this street at least. You can make sense of... It's all fenced in, and on the back end of it is a yard that's also fenced in. And on that backyard, there's a front door, a large warehouse loading door in the yard, and to the side of the loading door seems to be a painted over window, which all seem to be pretty notable points of entrance on your quick perimeter around the warehouse.
And do we see any people?
Roll a perception check for me.
Both of us or just Luke?
Oh, I rolled real bad though. It's a 7.
Roll as well for me, Aquaria.
Okay.
I'm proficient in that one.
You said perception?
Yes.
Oh, that's a 10.
Okay, not too good.
A wee
not
bit
too
better,
good.
but not great.
Though you're pretty confident that you've been undetected as your perimeter, what you sacrificed is lingering too long. From what you saw on your perimeter, you didn't spot anybody outside of the warehouse. You seem to be alone on the streets. But you don't gather much details about whether the warehouse has people in it or how many.
Are there any warehouse industrial noises?
With those perception checks, I'm going to say you're going to hear some random trash cans falling to the ground a couple alleys over, the miscellaneous noises, but nothing that would pinpoint inside the warehouse. You definitely need closer inspection to gather more info.
Well, Aquaria, what do you say? Should we move closer?
I think we could manage a little bit.
Right. Let's do that. So we'll move in for a closer look.
How would you like to approach the warehouse? As I mentioned, there is a front door, which is flushed against one of the main walls, but there's also in the backyard, a fenced-in yard with the big loading door and the window, as I mentioned as well.
I think into the backyard. What do you think, Aquaria?
Yeah, we're still in dock ward, right?
Correct. Yes, you are. All right. To get into the fenced-in yard, you can try to scale the fence, though it seems to have some barbed wiring, or you can check the gate.
I'll check the gate first.
All right. I need you to make a sleight of hand check for me.
Yeah, pretty good. 20. Non-natural.
Okay. You can see that the gate on the fence isn't locked. And as you test the gate to see if it makes any noise, you're able to open it up enough just so the two of you could squeeze into the yard without being detected.
Okay. And
So you're inside this outer yard. You're now within a fence, so you're inside the warehouse perimeters. And you have that kind of loading door I mentioned of the warehouse in front of you, and to the left of it is a window that seems to be painted over.
I'll see if I can't look through any the chips in the paint on the window.
It seems to be recently painted over, which is a clue on its own in some ways.
Yeah.
But roll a second perception check for me as you approach the warehouse.
That's better. 17.
Okay. Though you can't see inside the warehouse, as you approach and you're closer in the backyard of it, you do hear voices inside. In fact, you hear two identical voices inside of the warehouse, and they seem to be repeating each other. Kind of even muffled through the metal walls of the warehouse, you hear somebody speaking in common, rather frantically. I don't know where they are. And you'll hear someone maybe 2 seconds later repeat it. I don't know where they are. And you'll hear a muffling kind of conversation between the two.
Aquaria, would you be so kind as to ask our friends to join us here? I think that we may need to enter sooner than we had hoped.
You can't see anything. Well, sorry. There's no seductive Aquaria voice today. It's just me sounding like an old lady who smokes. Hey, Sonny, you keep listening to what's going on there. I kind of... It's not shadowy yet, is it?
Shadowy?
It's not dark out. It's still daytime, right?
No, it is past 9 o'clock at this point now. You spent an hour in the bar. Yeah, it's late. It's nighttime for sure.
Yeah, so I was gonna hide a little bit. No, I just I messaged Cantrip Poppy. It seems as though there's people inside. We might have to go in, see what's going on. You're muted. I don't get a message back. Oh no.
You can reply to this message. Just you guys, or do you want us to join you?
Sure. Oh yeah, you can reply. Wonderful. Join us.
Oh, everybody. Aquarius just messaged me in my brain telling me we need to go over there and join them.
I said it one more time. Sneakily.
Quietly. Very sneaky.
Joining I can do. Subtle is not in my nature, but I can try for you, puppy, my friend.
Aw.
Can you guys see into the apartment across the street from your room? There's like a window right behind the cat tree, and you can see people walking. Every once in a while it'll light up.
Probably. I'm usually faced in this direction, so I do not know.
Spooky.
But if you let me know if they're doing anything sketchy, I'll probably call them out. I won't do anything.
I'll go to head in the direction I last saw them go.
I'll follow.
I'll be in the back just mumbling, this is not a good idea. This
You
is
guys
not a good
fine.
idea.
We are friends. Look at us. It's 3 very powerful women. We're going to go sneak and get. And then there's not a problem. Do not worry. We are friends and we will see this through.
While they're coming up, can I try to see if the paint is done on the outside of the window or the inside?
While that's happening, I need the 3 girls to roll stealth checks for me.
I think
It's
I'm doing it
painted.
instead.
It's painted on the inside of the warehouse. It lasts longer that way for secret warehouse stuff.
I got a 15.
Okay.
I got a 13.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Guys, this is the first character I've ever played who is this unstealthy.
I like it.
It's
That's
hard.
the variety. It's
I
yeah.
play diverse characters with different features and accents and the same fucking alignment every time.
The heart ones with the heart ones.
I like chaotic good and I will bring it to my grave.
Chaotic
Oh, you're
gray.
usually chaotic good?
Chaotic good, chaotic neutrals. These are the parts of the game that I really like. This is the gray that I like to live in. Colin's about to go check out my character, like, are you actually chaotic good?
It doesn't feel
Okay.
You can keep going. Do not mind us.
As the 3 of you are approaching, Luke, you can hear that the back and forth between the 2 similar sounding voices, almost identical, as you hear the footsteps of your peers kind of coming and approaching. You hear a hush inside of the warehouse. I need you to roll one more perception check for me, Luke.
Nice. 17. No, sorry, 15.
You hear the voices that are a couple bits of questioning kind of continue, and the phrases repeat. The exact phrase, and then a second later the phrase repeats. And then as you hear the rest of the group approaching, you hear, like I mentioned, a hush, and almost a scream covered up in a muffled cry.
I jumped through the window.
Oh. Okay. Roll an acrobatics check for me, Luke.
Lawful good motherfucker!
Put on my weekend enough now.
20 non-natural.
What is it?
20 non-natural.
Okay.
That's
Luke,
yours.
as you hear a hushed scream kind of echo off the warehouse walls inside, you kind of lean back and run towards the painted window. Friends of Luke, as you turn the corner, you see Aquaria looking toward you, waiting for your arrival, and behind her you see Luke jumping through a painted warehouse wall or window. Luke, as you jump through, the crash of the glass is deafening. And as you quickly land and you rise up and you look around, you can see you are in a warehouse with several boxes, chairs, tables, kind of all over the place. And you seem to have jumped into the center of what seems to be an interrogation. 4 Kenku birds sit surrounding sit surrounding a what seems to be a gruff looking guy. The hushed cry with the Kenku's wing over the guy's mouth as you can see a dagger has been plunged into this man. As he pulls out, they all look at you for a second. I need you to roll initiative, Luke.
Oh!
Wait, important question. When
I heard a
Luke
lot
does
of things
this,
at once.
is he bad, though?
I would rule that's a yes.
Good boy.
Okay.
Very good, the Jones.
Where is okay? Let's see.
Is it just Luke rolling?
Yes, for now. Give me a sec. I'll tackle it. What did you get?
17.
Okay. Luke, as you crash in, you land, drawing what you have whatever you have at the ready. There are, I'd say, 4 birds kind of equally spaced in this storage room of a warehouse around you. You get to go first. What would you like to do?
Okay, so one of the birds just stabbed a dude, right?
Yeah, both of them don't look very wholesome, I'd say.
Is it a Kenku? They're Kenku.
Kenku, I mean, these Kenku are not baby birds like another Kenku you met. These definitely seem to be, they're not as cute. They're like, oh shit. One has like a scratch down the eye. Another one seems to like pluck some of the feathers on his arm to like make him look cool. I don't know.
Like 3 feet tall, so like.
Incorrect, but okay. What would you like to do, Luke?
Humanoid size?
So the guy's like bleeding out right now, right?
Yeah, definitely. They heard a disturbance and they kind of tried to hush out any threat. So.
Do you generally rule that yelling something is a free action?
Healing? Is that what you said? Healing?
No, yelling out something, like saying something to.
Yeah, yelling's a free action.
They stabbed him, and
wait! Before you do that, before you say that, you can see that this person who was stabbed is not the description of Floon at all. This guy looks to be a mercenary of sorts. He looks, as you'd picture, like another kind of like gruffy-looking guy. This is not the guy you're looking for. Okay. I want to make that clear before you say anything. But then, whatever you'd like to do. I'm sorry. I just didn't know if that was clear.
Who the hell are you? I will say that's the birds and see what
Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you?
That's what you're doing for your free action?
Can I do a medicine check to try to just like stop the bleeding? Or can I try to stop the bleeding on the guy?
Staunch.
If you want, yeah, you can try.
Yeah, so I'll try. It's probably a terrible idea.
Okay.
Funny.
Look, as you're jumping through the window, the glass shattering inwards of the warehouse, you look around. Who the hell are you? And as you rush towards the bleeding man, you somehow quickly you rip off a piece of his jacket and you tie it as a tourniquet. And you can see you kind of stabilize the man for a second. That's going to be your action for now. Do you want to do anything for a bonus action?
No, I'm good.
All right. They're going to go next, and you'll hear almost all in unison, maybe half second after the other, who the hell are you? 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 As they all come lunging at you with their short swords.
All right, Luke.
Yeah.
They're all going to try to attack you.
That's fair.
I don't... Let me get their dice. Okay, I've got an 18 and a 15. Oh, and a 13 won't hit. So 2 hit, 2 miss. Right?
Okay.
AC is 14 right now? Not too bad considering, actually.
Yep.
Okay, the 2 attacks are going to total 7 plus 3 plus 3, 13. 13 piercing damage.
Okay, I'm out.
Ah! I need everyone else to roll. I
We
need
turn
everyone else to roll
around and we
initiative.
leave the backyard quietly.
Oh, I hope I
We
get
just
high.
leave.
I hope I high just because I have such a good line. Please.
My friend first, I'll kill you. That's a threat for you.
Okay. Anyone from 25 to 20?
No.
20 to 15.
17.
Okay. 15 to 10?
Well,
10 to 5.
I got the 8.
5.
Wait, that was everybody, right? So what was it? 1 by 1.
I think Kelly said 9.
Yes.
What's your
I
dex
said-
modifier? Cal.
+1.
Kelly, you sound like you're sick. Are you feeling okay?
I'm good.
Okay, after Kelly with the 9.
I got an 8. My dex modifier is +1.
Okay, and then Aquaria?
I got a 5. My dex modifier is +3.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I rolled a fucking 2.
Bad.
Okay, so at the top of initiative is going to be Luke. So if you're
Me too.
unconscious,
Yes.
yeah, I need you to make your first death save.
11. It's a success.
All right, that's your first success. After Luke, we have Poppy.
I'm gonna hear it. He's been stabbed, right? Or they stabbed him. What was it?
I'm not sure.
What did you say? You said they stabbed him.
I think I said they stabbed him.
They stabbed
Did
him.
he, or did he just say, who the hell are you? Did you retcon that?
I didn't. I don't know. I thought I was still saying I stabbed him, and who the hell?
That's
are you?
fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. In my panic, I'm gonna nervously cast Expeditious Retreat on myself,
Okay.
which gives me it's concentration. It allows me to move an incredible space. I can use my bonus action to dash, almost like a rogue.
Okay.
Then it's a bonus action to cast.
Okay.
So I'm casting it, and then I'm gonna run in there because I guess I'm kind of far away
Yeah.
from the
So
window.
you're gonna use your movement to move 30 feet.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then jump in the window where Luke jumped in.
Okay. That's your free action.
And when I jump in, I'm gonna be like, "They stabbed him!" And then I'm gonna cast Eldritch Blast on the one closest to Luke.
Sure. Okay. Roll to attack.
Only 12.
12 will not hit.
Oh damn! That's it. That's my turn.
Okay. Next up,
I might die.
after Poppy, we have the Kenku, unfortunately, because they've got a better dex than Misha. You're gonna see they look at the new approaching person, and almost like a kung fu movie, it's like and they like come running at you. All of them with their short swords. They're all gonna try to attack you. They are not sure what the heck is happening. Oh my gosh. Okay. 2 are gonna hit. 1 is a natural 20.
I'm dead, guys. I'm so dead.
Oh no.
Don't die.
Because I might literally die.
Don't die. You're okay.
Guys, I might literally be auto dead.
We are pussies, bitch. Level us up right now. Give us level 2. You lost so much, please. Please.
Are we really? Can we
Bye,
really
Poppy.
get on session 4?
That's gonna be 11 piercing damage.
I'm unconscious.
Guys,
At
do
least
not-
I'm not dead. Yes, at least I'm not dead.
Just undo it. I am not
I
able
literally flashed. I thought Poppy was a dead character. I was about to be so upset.
Paige made a whole patron, everything for you not to figure out.
Man, it's here in D&D and you're not taking it serious, Sarah.
Okay,
Taking it so serious.
after the Kenku, I need Misha up next.
Because we're going to die.
I'm turning the
Wait,
corner.
Benign should be... Wait,
Hey,
Benign...
hey! Misha, I can't hear you. Say it again.
I was just saying that I was turning the corner, mumbling to myself, this is a terrible idea, this is a terrible idea. I hear, who the hell are you? I see you whatchamacallit jump in the window.
And you hear 4, who the hell are you, immediately after that.
Cool. I go to look in the window, Is there any way I can make a cone effect on all the Kenku except for Poppy? Well, they're unconscious, so if I did some kind of effect, it wouldn't affect them, correct?
No, that's not true. But I'll say just so you're not useless in the window, make if you want, you can make the attack. You're just pointing it higher.
I want to color spray and blind the 4 Kenku.
Okay. Can you do
without
multiples?
blinding the 2 of them, or would it blind them still even if they're unconscious?
I'm gonna say because they're unconscious, they don't have their eyes open, so they're not gonna be affected by a blinding spell.
Okay, so I'm gonna cast color spray.
This is the other side of, is this a visual effect? And I'm gonna say yes, and because they're unconscious, they're not acceptable to a visual effect.
Finally made it to the other side.
Okay, so I'm gonna run up to the window.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast color spray. So I roll 60-10.
No, you need to. Do they have to roll to save? You don't just roll your damage.
Wait.
It doesn't automatically hit. Do you have to roll to attack, or do they roll to save?
It says this: a dazzling array of flashing colored light springs from your hand. Roll 60-10. The total is how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. Creatures in a 15-foot cone originating from you are affected in ascending order on their current hit points.
Okay.
Ignoring unconscious creatures and creatures that can't see. Oh, there you go. Starting with the creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell is blinded until the spell ends, which is 1 round.
Okay, so they all have the same hit points, so just roll the whatever you need to roll, and I'll let you know how many are affected. How many dice do you roll?
60-10.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god.
Seems like a lot.
It's
That's what I said.
Well, it's how many hit points of creature it affects.
Yeah, it's hit points of creatures, so...
I know.
15, 24... 24, 34. I'm rolling amazing. 34, 37... 37, 39 hit points. Can I get all of them? Or my
No.
short one?
Your short
Yeah.
one. Misha, as you shoot a beam of color spray light, you can see the Kenku who were rushing towards the window, who just dropped Poppy. They look up kind of in a daze, and 3 of them get hit straight, dead on by this beam of rainbow multicolored light, and they seem to stagger back. You can see one blinks for a second and looks back at his friends. Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you? Like, freaked out because he just seems to see what's going on. But he is not blinded.
And I'm going to step as far back as I can with my movement.
Just out
away from the window.
Away from the window that you didn't go through the window.
No, I would have just been close enough to do the cone, 15-foot cone, and then I'm going to back up.
Got it. You don't have to back up. You can just literally move to the side. It's a window, so.
Okay, then I'm going to do that. And my turn's done.
All right. After Misha, we've got Dolly.
Cool. I'm going through the window.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on Luke.
Okay.
Like a dumb bitch. He gets... Oh, good. 4 hit points.
Hey, he regains consciousness, which is what's most important.
Isn't that like half your health anyway?
It is basically.
All right. Anything else for your bonus?
How
action?
much distance did I cover?
I'd say most of it, yeah, with your movement. I'm just trying to be spare. I mean, in theory, you're approaching the yard, so I'm just trying to do, like, an abbreviated version of combat and not actually track that distance, because that would not be fun.
Okay. At what point can I cast a cantrip as an action, right?
Depending, some cantrips say that their casting time is a bonus action, but it depends on the cantrip.
No, I'm good. That's my turn.
Okay. After Dolly, we have Aquaria.
It me. So there's still one living Kenku bad birdie boy in there?
There are 4 living Kenku. but three are blinded. You can be alive and blind.
And
Well,
only
I
for
wasn't.
one round.
They're alive.
Well, I wasn't sure if they were blinded or if it was damage. I'm sorry.
You can see
Um,
blinded by the light, wrapped up like a.
Revved up like a douche, another runner in the night.
Are these the genius.com lyrics? So I guess I'm gonna do a melee attack with my spear. So I'm gonna run up to the window and
Are you planning on
throw
throwing
my
your spear?
spear,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. So roll to attack. You're going to be rolling a d20, adding your dex modifier, and if you're proficient, you can add your
I
proficiency bonus too.
I am proficient.
Okay.
That is a nat 20 plus 5.
Okay. So that's going to hit. I'm assuming you're hitting for the one that's not blinded.
Yes.
All right. Roll your damage.
It says 1d6 and then in parentheses next to it 1d8. Is that for it's like kind of grayed out. I'm not really sure what the difference
I'm guessing that's if
is.
it's two-handed.
Eh,
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Okay.
Can you
I'm
throw
guessing
it? But can you throw a spear two-handed versus
you can
one-handed?
throw a spear.
I don't know. I just
Let me look it up for you.
okay. I just don't. This is the first melee attack I've like ever made.
It's when it's versatile, meaning when you're attacking like as a melee, you can hold it and attack it versatile. With throw, it's just a 1d6 piercing.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So that's going to be 1d6 plus your dex modifier at the end of it. So
Well-
whatever.
At 20,
Oh.
so 2d6.
Yes, so 2d6.
Oh, which is good because I rolled the first one and it was a 6, and then I rolled the second one and it was a 4, so that's 10 plus my dex.
Yeah.
13.
Okay. As you run in, you can see Misha on the side of the window who's just casted a beam of color into the warehouse. The light has just diminished and kind of faded inside. And as you peek in, you throw your spear at your side. You throw it at the one Kenku that's still peeking out towards the warehouse window. You hit it straight through the eye, and the force of the spear shoots it down to the ground. And you can see it's dead, stuck to the ground.
Fuck yeah. Don't let me forget to get. I turned to Misha. Don't let me forget to get that. I guess I step away from the window because I haven't gone through. I just.
In the flurry, I'll say just for because of how quickly this battle's turned, it really was a literal roller coaster. At the top of initiative, Luke, as you're regaining consciousness, the one Kenku was just killed. The three others that are blinded, you can see they're quickly trying to scramble for their escape. Blinded, I'd say they're obviously running into several crates, falling over. But they all scatter into different directions. They seem to be unwilling to die for something so stupid as whatever they're fighting for.
I'm gonna
You
lasso
all.
one.
All right, we'll try to lasso one.
Okay, that's okay. 8 plus proficiency is 10, so 14.
That's just going to beat them. They rolled a 13. So they are one is tethered. So you've grabbed one. As the rest of you are kind of converging on this spot, you can see Poppy unconscious on the ground. Two of the Kenkus fleeing into different corridors and alleys of this warehouse, trying to flee escape. Luke, after regaining consciousness, has lassoed one and has it tethered to the end of his rope. I would say for simplicity, we can break initiative. What do you guys like to do?
Get Poppy up.
And I'm gonna hog tie the Kenku.
You need to roll a medicine check if you're trying to help Poppy, Misha.
A 16.
She is stable. She doesn't need to roll death saves, but without additional curing. She is unconscious, but she is alive. She'll just need some time to rest.
I'm gonna drag her outside of the window onto the yard out back. And I said, I told you this was a bad idea!
Well, that went somewhat more poorly than planned.
You are barely alive. You are one to talk. Hello, Kenku! Small bird man! Tell me what I want to know. You're hog-tied. I know you do not speak good, but like gesture.
Who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you?
Who the hell are you?
I feel these stupid motherfuckers. I swear to God.
Do we know anything about Kenku?
I would say just after even a minute of dialogue, you can quickly tell that they lack this Kenku lacks the ability for whatever reason to come up with any original words. He seems to every few sentence kind of look at you and mimic whatever the last thing you've said. And almost perfect.
Can you write yes?
Kind of looks at you.
Give him a piece of paper and pen. I want to test something.
Right, I have those.
You get them? I think I have them.
Okay, you give them.
I give him a piece of paper and a pen.
He's hogtied.
One arm.
One of his wings, please. Piece of bird. Yes,
One of his wing arms.
Worms.
Ugh.
Okay.
One
What's
more.
happening? Can I just yell help? Poppy needs help.
I have given up all my spells.
Does anyone have anything to help our friend?
I truly tried to help one friend. I cannot help. I'm out of spells.
And I appreciate it immensely.
You better.
Okay, I don't. Me as a D&D player don't know what else I could do.
Just
You did
time.
have-
She's not going to die. Just give her time. If you guys literally don't have anything to heal her with, just give her some time.
And we take a long rest right in the middle of the warehouse.
I sit there and I pet her little head.
While this is going on, Aquaria hops in through the window and like is trying to take her spear out of this guy's eye, but it like she threw it so forcefully that I really want the like she's just got her boot on the head and she's just like yanking.
You're able to eventually wedge out the spear. It might
Does
be
the eye
coming
come with it?
not the eye, but it looks like a fragment of the skull is definitely stuck on it, which was definitely giving you the biggest bit of protest.
She looks at it, she kind of nods, wipes off the grime on her pants.
All right, Luke and Dolly, you have handed him a quill and paper.
What are you doing here?
Who the hell are you?
We gave you a pen and pencil. You can write or you can die.
Or you can die.
Can I stab him a little bit in the leg?
Oh my god. Do you want to roll? Okay, roll a intimidation check for me.
Damn it. 6.
You stab him in the leg. And you hear him kind of mimic the whimpering sound. One of them had covered the mouth of one of the other, what seems to be like, Zentirum guys. And as you kind of look around now with the chaos kind of subdued, you look around, you can see there are several other Zentirum corpses littered throughout the warehouse. In total, 6 of them. But besides the reaction to pain, he doesn't move his hands towards the paper.
Now, I'll tell you this because I feel like you're a reasonable man. We came here to rescue a fella who got on the wrong side of these interim folk. And frankly, we don't care what you're doing to him. We just want him back. Now, we can let you go, and this can all be done.
Or we can do something very bad to you, which is a possibility.
Like my friend said.
I'll let you roll, Dolly, one more intimidation check.
A 10.
You can see He doesn't gesture towards the paper. He doesn't pick up the pen, the quill you handed him, but you'll see him mimic a new voice, a voice you hadn't heard. It's thin and nasally. Tie up the pretty boy in the back room. Follow yellow signs in the sewer.
I'll relay this to our companions. And I'm going to take whatever weapons the bird has on him.
Roll a investigation check.
That is a 3.
You do spot the short sword that was on his side that he was fighting with. You could take that.
Yeah, I'll take that from him. And then I'll say, now, I'm trusting you to not do anything drastic when I let you go. Do you think you can do that for me? Yes or no?
No time to loot the place. Just get him to the boss. You see, he's trying to... You can see, even in his face, he's trying to tell you this as like a word of good gesture.
Right, and these are the Xantrim bosses. You can nod or shake as needed.
Xanathar sends its regards.
Sorry, that cut out for a second.
Yeah, sorry. Xanathar sends its regards.
Okay. Well, I will let you go. And I am terribly sorry for having inconvenienced you this evening.
I am not.
And I'll untie him. But keep the short sword.
You pull your Bowie knife out from him where you intimidate it and you use it to cut the rope that you'd hog-tied him with at the end, just so you don't waste too much of the rope, the lasso you've created. And as the rope kind of unravels and falls, you see him try to stand up, and you'll see him quickly scurry off with little bravery into the similar direction as one of his peers who'd run off back out towards the city into the dock ward.
Right, so there's been a lot of murder. I think we should get in and out as quick as possible. They said he was in the back. That might be the best option for us to check.
I kicked down the door.
Sometimes there's useful and valuable items on corpses. And I think we should be quick and thorough.
I kicked down the door.
I'll search the bodies.
Around this time, that's to search all the bodies and kick down the door. It's going to take even quickly about 10-15 minutes. Considering it's not just the Kenku you dropped, but 6 other what seem to be Zentirum bandits of sorts. In the first couple minutes of that, Misha outside, you see Poppy stir underneath of you, regaining consciousness with 1 hit point.
Oh, thank God.
I got stabbed.
Yeah, you did. I told you this was a bad idea. I thought of all the possibilities of what could have happened, and guess what? This was one of them, and I knew it was going to happen, and it happened.
Oh, it hurts to breathe. Ah.
Hey, take it easy, take it slow.
Have you been stabbed before?
No, and I don't plan on ever being stabbed.
Okay. Are we good?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing, though.
Does Luke good?
Yeah, he's up.
All right. Can we get out of here, please?
And split the party?
With everybody.
I don't think we should leave them by themselves.
I'm just, can we hurry them up?
Yes. And I go inside. I'm like, guys, we really need to go.
Luke, roll an investigation check for me as you're looting the bodies.
Investigation check.
Dolly, as you've looked around the ground level of this warehouse, it is 2 stories. You can see that there is a staircase that leads up to like an upper balcony level of it, but you can see behind, underneath the staircase, what seems to be a back room. As as Luke's telling you about being quick, but being quiet and trying to find him, you walk right up to the door and you kick it in. And the first thing you notice as you kick open the door, it is a small storage closet. The hinges were already relatively broken, but even with that, your strength kicks it in, and it's small, and the door kind of falls off to its side and breaks clean off the hinges. Inside, there is a cramped chamber, which smells strongly of sour fish and vinegar. It is filled with discarded ropes, canvas tarpaulins of sorts, splintered wood from smashed barrels, and in the corner, huddled, is a young man with reddish blonde long hair, locks, dressed very finely, and you can see he seems to have slipped free of his rope bonds. He kind of shudders as someone kicks in the door.
Are you okay? Hello, I am Dali. You are either a boy or a boy that we are looking for.
Yes, I'm Rania. And you are?
As I said, I am Dali. I'm here to rescue you.
You're here to rescue me. All right. And he kind of stands up, and you can see he's a little shaky as he is marred with grime. You see as he approaches you, even he kind of smells of pickled herring.
Smell gross, but you need a hand. I will touch you very lightly.
I'm fine, thank you.
You can take my arm.
It's not fitting, but thank you. Were you able to handle? I heard the skirmish outside.
Well, it's done. We fixed it. They're gone.
He kind of approaches the door with you, and he goes, and he looks down. Do you have your weapon on you at all?
Dolly has at all times a scythe and a staff, but they're not like drawn or anything.
Okay. Do you have something I could use to defend myself?
You don't have anything on you.
Luke, what was that perception or the investigation check?
17 plus nothing because he's not intelligent.
What a curve. You do find 2 short bows, 2 more short swords, 3 daggers, and a total of 8 gold pieces, 23 silver pieces, and 40 copper pieces. Granted, it's the mint, like the Waterdeep mint version of him, so it's a specific coinage that is traded and exchanged in Waterdeep. But yeah.
Okay. Do I hear him being like, "Can I have a weapon?"
Yeah, definitely. That's why I asked at the time.
I'll give him one of the short swords.
All right. He'll take it from you and he'll go, "Thank you. Are they all taken care of?"
Yeah, let's skedaddle. I think.
No, hold on. Where is our friend? You are just a byproduct of this investigation.
That's true. Rainier, was it? Did you happen to be spending some time with a floon before you were taken?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I was with Floon on the night of our abduction, and Floon was a little too intoxicated, so I was going to help him find his way home, and I offered to escort him. We were jumped by 10, probably 5 thugs, and
It's 5, I heard.
well, there were several of them. They jumped us. They brought us here, and while they were questioning us, those birds came in and took them, killed them, and in the chaos, I hid. I got myself out of my ropes, but I'm afraid they took Floon somewhere.
Did you hear where?
I believe they took him to the sewers.
I heard about the sewers.
You're hearing Kelly's cat cry through the door.
No, it's Isaac.
That's ours.
Oh,
That's mine.
Oh, I hear him too. Both of them are going.
Bubba, what do you want?
He's like, I want in. I want to know the DM secrets.
All right, Rhaenyra, we're going to find your friend, and you are going to come with us. How does that sound? You have a weapon now. You are armed.
Okay. Okay, but I don't know where they went. I don't know where they went.
We know they went to the sewers. We are all new in town. You are not, I assume. So,
Yes, but Waterdeep has one of the largest sewer systems in Faerun.
well, I don't want to be rude, but you probably should steel yourself for a long time in the sewers with us. So, good luck. Welcome aboard. You are now our friend. That's good. We're fun. We have a good time. We just fight bad guys. We find people.
I heard several people fall. You must have killed all of them.
Killed, dispatched, frightened away. 6 of 1.
Okay. What's everyone else doing?
Is there anything like an obvious sewer grate nearby?
Inside the warehouse, no.
Rainier, did you happen to see which direction they took Floon in?
No, I heard them take him while I was hiding in here. I heard them leave.
And did they leave out the front door or side door?
Probably the side door, and he points to or the front door. I guess technically the door you didn't exit through.
Well, I think that may be our best bet at finding him quickly.
Were there any tattoos or anything on the birds themselves?
Through the feathers.
Oh, right.
Well,
Yeah,
she did say that one plucked his feathers, so maybe they had a tattoo under.
Maybe
Was there any how about this? Was there any distinguishable matching feature on the four birds?
If we're talking big picture here to help you, there was not a physical identifier, but the phrase that the one Kenku echoed back to Luke was probably the most telling.
Okay, I'll watch it back. Thank you.
Where he said, Xanathar sends its regards.
Okay, got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So this appears after quick kind of recollection. It seems to be another scuffle between Zentirum and Xanathar. Acquaintances.
I'm going to tell the group that we should probably rest up. Poppy needs to rest up.
Is falling in and out of consciousness.
Half the party almost died.
Let's try to find where they entered the sewers first.
We have to follow the yellow sands.
Right. I think that
we do that tomorrow.
Well, let's find out where they entered, and then we can rest up and go after them.
Okay.
Rhaenyra, you did not see you did not see them go anywhere?
I didn't see, but
Here.
I can only try to anticipate why, I guess. Oh, you're asking. Well, I can't help but think that there must have been a case of mistaken identity, and I think they thought Floon was me or me was Floon, and I think they thought when they took Floon that they were taking me. They were questioning us when we were here, the Zentirum, and they were asking me. They thought my father had embezzled some sort of large amount of gold when he was the Open Lord, and that he hid the dragon somewhere in the city, and they think that they can find it by using this artifact, and whether they don't know, they don't think I don't know where that is. I have no clue.
I appreciate that was very enlightening and illuminating. But what is the artifact? Did your father steal a bunch of money? And why do they think it is the friend and not you, who is the son of the Open Lord, former Open Lord?
Well, I have to admit, we do look really similar. So I guess in the moment they saw him and they just picked the wrong guy. But I don't know if my father did anything like that. I have no idea. But they kept mentioning the Stone of Galore, and they thought that it was in the hands of the Xanathar Guild. And they thought that if they could find the stone, then they could find the money. But I'd never even heard of it. I hadn't heard of it before.
That is all right. But why did you not elucidate them?
I'm sorry?
Why did you not explain to them who you are and not your friend who is playing scapegoat right now in the sewers?
No, those guys. He's pointing to the dead bodies. The Zentirum. They knew. They were asking me. But when those Kenku came in the scuffle, I think they saw him and grabbed him and didn't have time to figure out that they grabbed the wrong guy. But the Zentirum, they knew it was me. They knew my father. But they said that someone had stolen. They said the Zentirum, they said the Xanathar had the stone, but it was stolen. And they thought that they could figure out if I had it, but I don't know what's happening. I don't know, but it's clearly something between the two of them.
Right, well, that is good that you are with us now, because we are going to find your friend, and get this solved. So I appreciate your, inclusion.
But again, I don't know where to find. I don't know where they went with food.
We're a better starting point than nothing.
He kind of swallows nervously. He's trying to think. As you're all sitting there, you can hear a growing commotion outside. Sounds to be like several feet.
Get the fuck out!
Scurrying.
Let us go.
As you collect the loot you've collected in the storehouse, or the storage, the main floor of the warehouse, and you try to make back towards the window you'd crashed through, you can see the sliding door, the warehouse door to the left of it. As you're looking in, you can see it starts to slide open, and it looks like the city watch starts piling into the warehouse. With you don't have much time to react.
I'm gone. I'm already gone.
Yeah, I'm bounced.
Yeah, they're both not in the warehouse.
They would have come in through the yard, so they would have seen you.
Now I'm running.
Okay, so thinking about this, let's think about this big picture.
Wait, remember that one time we went to a college party and then the cops busted it up and we all ran through the streets of Cambridge? Just imagine that.
Yeah. But also thinking about it big picture, you can either be questioned by the City Watch together, or two of you can sneak away, and the three get questioned by the City Watch.
I don't want to influence
I bounced.
I'll try and run.
It is split. We warned you multiple times. We need to leave.
Okay, I need the two of you then to make stealth checks and
are we running?
acrobatics checks. You just said it, so roll those 2 checks for me.
God damn it.
Oh no.
This is a story. I wonder what Paige will do with this.
All right, I got a 13 for my stealth and a 7 for my acrobatics.
I got a 16 for my stealth and a 4 for my acrobatics. And I have 1 hit point, so.
Oh no.
Okay.
Unconscious on the fence.
Poppy and Misha, you can hear the growing, running footsteps of the city watch. As you can hear them coming, you quickly start to try to escape over the fence, or through the fence. It's not quite well done for both of you, and as you turn out of the out of the actual territory of the warehouse, and you make your way back onto Candle Lane, trying to rush into another alleyway. You can see the city guard behind you, and they see you and they point, and you can see one of the men in the middle, who seems to be the captain, calls towards your direction. And as you both kind of follow each other into a nearby alleyway and start to make your way through, you don't know which direction you're going in. You're just trying to get away. Because of your stealth, I'll say, you hear the two guards try to run past you, and they seem to miss you. So even though they spotted you, they were not able to catch you as you run off together into the alleyways. As for the rest of you, as you start to make your way through and out of the warehouse with Rainier Neverember, you can see that the group of City Watch, nearly over 24 of them, kind of surround the warehouse, and you can see that the same guard that had called out to your two friends kind of breaks through, and he approaches Rainier, who he does recognize, and the other three of you. We heard tell of suspicious activity. Is everything okay here? And you'll see him kind of look at Rainier, and Rainier will quickly, at first uncomfortably, drop his weapon. And then as he kind of puts it in the sheath on his side that was left unarmed, he'll bring his hands back to it, and you'll see the less nervous, more of the like noble side of him turn on, and he's like, yes, these brave heroes saved me from ultimate abduction and demise, and as you can see, have disposed of them within the legal code of law. Okay. Roll to persuade the captain, and you'll see the captain bring his hands down to the guards, who lower their short swords. He looks at you. Abduction, you say? Is everyone okay? He looks to you, Dolly, Aquaria, Luke.
I am absolutely fine. Just here to be supportive of our friend Rainier.
Indeed, it was quite distressing when he disappeared.
You can see he looks at you and he approaches you and he says, and I can assume that there is no affiliations to, he looks at the corpses on the other side, both the Kenku that Aquaria stands by and a few of the Zentirum guards. I assume there's no affiliations between those involved.
Oh no, we're all fairly new in town, I think.
New in town. Well, allow me to introduce myself. Captain Staggett. He manages the dock ward.
Saget.
Captain Bob Saget.
Staggett. Hyustus Staggett.
Hyustus Staggett. Hello, it's nice to meet you. I'm Dali Miller. And my full name is Dahlia, but most people are my friends. They call me Dali. You are welcome to call me Dali as well.
Miss Miller.
Captain Staggett.
Well, seeing that you're all new to town, I should inform you of the code legal. In this case, as Mr. Neverember has mentioned, you are all within your legal rights to defend yourself and prevent further violence in the city, but perhaps I should inform you of the laws here. You'll see he pulls out a sheet, a pamphlet that he seems to have a stack of. I will find it. It's here, I promise, it's here. I found it. Show to players. You see he hands you this pamphlet listed as the code legal, which details the several different crimes and their related punishments in the city of Waterdeep. You can see he hands the three of you each a copy. Now, as I mentioned, you haven't committed any crimes today. It's just my job to try to curb the growing violence here in the dock ward. We had this warehouse under surveillance, and when we heard the commotion, I was certain that it would be something very different than this. I'm happy you intervened.
You say you had it under surveillance. Did you happen to see a group of these little bird folk taking another young man into the sewers?
We didn't have immediate surveillance on the area. I have several teams of City Watch that perimeter the area. There's other threats, of course. Dock Ward is understaffed, but no, we weren't able to see what happened immediately prior to our descent onto the warehouse. But if you're dealing with Zentirum or the Xanathar Guild, you could speak to a couple people who might know more details. Unfortunately, people don't come to me and disclose such information. But if you happen to gain any intel on where even a small portion of this Xanathar Guild's hiding, I know they're in the sewers, but I don't have the time or resources to send my men in there. We don't know what threats to anticipate.
So this is Colin real quick. So party, we happen to have some information on where maybe to find them. Are we at all interested in sharing with the... No. Okay.
Trust no pig.
We'll be sure.
Can you say that in French accent, please?
Trust no pig.
We'll be sure to pass anything we learn along, officer.
All right, well, as I said, best advice is follow the code legal, but some other words of wisdom is keep the blood off the streets, okay?
Yes, sir.
And not all the City Watch are as nice as me. And he kind of looks at you over his brow. Good luck. And he'll kind of gesture his City Watch off the warehouse perimeter and leave you with Rainier.
Yes, Gio, let's go.
All right. Well, perhaps we could talk to the Black Staff. Maybe she could give us more information.
The Black Staff?
Yes, Vagra. She's the Black Staff of Waterdeep. She's like second in command pretty much of the city. She runs the Force Grey and the Grey Hands.
Well, like I said, we are fairly new to the city, so...
Right. Okay, so there is the... Okay, how do I break this down? Loria Silverhand, Open Lord of Waterdeep. She has a second in command who gets to control the Black Staff. Powerful quarterstaff. Can pretty much control most of the city. That's Vagra. She's the current Black Staff of Waterdeep. She works underneath L'Oreal. L'Oreal technically oversees Force Grey, a powerful group of adventurers who work to defend Waterdeep. Kind of like the Avengers of Waterdeep, you could say. Underneath of Force Grey is a faction called the Grey Hands. And both Force Grey and the Grey Hands are managed more directly by Vagra. And I assume most of her scouts in the city could give us more information on this Xanathar Guild. You'd pretty much be talking to the most powerful wizard in the city, but she would probably know where to lead us next.
I guess we're making friends, huh?
Important friends. So we must be on our best behavior.
All friends are important. And I'm always on my best behavior.
I don't mean to be rude, but I will do most of the talking.
Well, good luck. You have not exhibited much talking skills until now. But I have faith in you. You are our friend. You can do it. I'll be here to back you up if need be.
All right. Rainier will start to lead you, Dolly, Luke, and Aquaria out of the dock ward towards this Vagra, the Black Staff of Waterdeep, for Poppy and Misha. As you escape the clutches of the City Watch, where do you go? Where do you head?
I would stay in that alleyway and kind of peek around until the guards left.
Okay, that'd be about 20 minutes or so.
And then after that, I think Misha's sleeping, but I'd be like, okay, Misha, I'll carry you. And we'd head back to the warehouse to see where our party's at.
Roll a stealth check for me.
That's a 9.
There'd be an awkward moment of confusion as you try to sneak around the city guard and they'd see you. And for a moment, you're not sure how they're going to react. And you raise your hands up, like surrendering. And you can see they practically walk past you with what seems to be their captain at the front. They seem to be on to bigger threats.
Good. And I'll just stay still like, oh, they didn't see me. And once they're past, we're good. And then we'll run to the warehouse.
One of the last city watches, a younger city watch, tips his hat to you as he walks by.
He must have he must be able to see invisible things.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Lady.
I'd ask his name, but it would, reveal my whereabouts. So, and we'd join the group, probably thinking we need to save them, but clearly they're fine.
Mm-hmm. All right. So with that in mind, it's way past 11. It's almost 11:30. We'll end our session there and pick up next week.
Yay!
Yay.
We did a lot today.
We did a lot.
Got knocked unconscious.
Us.
Oh my god, could have insta-died.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, we're gonna keep popping through the window and we're gonna keep dying.
I did not die.
Yeah, and
It's very true. Neither did Aquaria.
Awful.
Nor Misha.
Yeah, Misha really saved our asses.
Thanks,
I
Misha.
stabilized you.
Well, yes, but like the blindness thing.
Oh yeah.
was-
No, Misha's very powerful. We should be fearful of her.
Hashtag snoring girl. Hashtag 2019. Good night, internet.
Good night, Internet.